Whiteboard Wednesday on a rather strange week. We thought we'd get together. We did think carefully about whether to put one out this week. We want to connect with everyone and for a bit of support on what to do if you either have had to isolate or you're now having to work from home.
So you're probably seeing hundreds, thousands even of home workouts, people posting videos about things that you can do at home if you do happen to be in self-isolation. What we want to do today, so we are going to go through something that you can do at home, so the bits of kit that you might require to do a home workout and keep yourself moving when you're at home.
So first thing, equipment. So equipment, you need good flat shoes. I always recommend Converse Chucks, and you also need a kettlebell. Now, for the workout, you could use a dumbbell. If you haven't got one, I really recommend if there's one bit of kit, get a kettlebell or a dumbbell.
You're going to do this stuff at home, obviously, to start off with just moving, like doing a warm-up, so a reset is a great way to do that. So our middle component then is the tempo squat, so we're doing strength, or you could put a skills workout in there as well, or some skill work. So before we do any metabolic conditioning, we would do our strength component and then move on to the conditioning at the end.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with the reset, and the first reset we're going to do is breathing. So breathing is really important for us, and what we need to do is learn to diaphragmatic breathe, which we should be doing, rather than this sort of emergency state chest breathing. So that also has carryover into the squat that we're going to do. But it also, in times of stress, it's great for us to learn to breathe properly and actually take time to do so. So first thing we're going to do is lie down on the floor. You can raise your knees up like this. You could put your feet up against the wall if you had a wall there like so. You're also going to place your hand onto your belly and make sure that your back is actually touching the floor. So if I was to try and get my hand under Emma's back, there shouldn't be a hollow there that I can stick my hand under. So in that position now, what we're going to do now is we're just going to practice a minute of breathing. So when we do this breathing, I like to do tongue into the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. And if you do that, you will find that you nasal breathe rather than mouth breathe. So whilst doing that nasal breathing, your hand you want to try and make rise. Therefore, you are breathing into your belly, so that you're diaphragmatic breathing rather than seeing your chest rise like this, which is usually caused by mouth breathing. But we're going to go through the head nod routine. This just lying like this in this position is a great position to lie in. It's kind of like the opposite. In this position, if you look at the curvature of my back to the seated position, which is very much like that. So if you're going to be working from home a lot, this is actually a great position. If you need to do a bit of scrolling through your phone, this is a great position to do it in. So we're now going to go through some head nods. Now the idea of this is that we're moving the head up and down and trying to use your eyes to make the rest of your body flow and follow. So my head is following my eyes and we go up and down. This is also really good for stimulating your vestibular system, which is the control of your balance. That's it, and once you've done that, we then go side to side. So trying to work, the best way of describing this is if you're trying to empty out your ear to the floor between your arms. And that way you're going to really try and reach as far as you can either way. Again, this is great for your neck, great for your back. Then the next one, the way Dan John describes this one is check your flip-flops. You're on the beach, look at your flip-flops. So we look out and round. So this one really starts to get some good movement going in your back. I mean, I use this every day. I do this before I do any of my sessions. Any of my PT clients know this little routine. This is a great one for back health. So we look out and round at your feet. Again, it's not done as a end of range stretch. You're just flowing between those movements. Yeah. Okay, so here we go with the roll. So what we're going to do is the easiest way to do a segmental roll, and we're gonna lead it with the feet. So you're going to lie down on your back to start off with, and for this you've got to be floppy. So what Emma's then going to do is lead with this leg. Don't be stiff, everything be floppy, and she's going to bring this leg over until the body starts. Push your foot towards the wall now. Push your foot. There you go, and then she just flops over. Then to get back over, she's going to lead with this arm and just bring it over. There we go. And then so let's do that once more. So this leg comes over onto the floor and then push it towards the wall and she flops over and then leads back with the arm. So we could do that 3 or 4 times each way. Really good for your spine. You get a lot of movement through it. Don't go stiff. Stay nice and floppy as you move between those being on your back to being on your front. Okay, here we go with the rock. So we're just rocking backwards and forwards. So moving between these two positions. And you see, as you move backwards, you actually go into a squat. You want your toe actually touching the ground, not the laces of your shoes. So big toe up. And then just rocking. It's a really nice movement to do, and it's great movement preparation for whatever you're going to do. So just forwards and backwards, great for your shoulders, feeling nicely connected as you move.
You can flow it around a bit in a circle too.
Yeah, and you can take it all the way into a push-up and back, push-up position and back, and probably one of the hardest ones to do is the Hindu push-up. So again, cool. And if we finish up with the last one, which is the crawl, we can go forwards, backwards, sideways, all of it making your body has to move as one. So you've got to stay very tight with a nicely tucked tummy as you do this movement. A great way of building strength. Okay, so next up we're going to go with the strength element. We always like after doing the warm up, doing the movement preparation, we then go into doing our strength movement. The reason we do the strength movement before doing a workout is we want to feel freshest when we're doing the hardest part of our daily workout. So we're going to go tempo squat today. We're going to do 3 rounds of it. We're going to give you a couple of variations you can do for this. Now, we're going to go 3 rounds of tempo 5, 5, 5, 1. So what I'm going to do, Emma's going to do a goblet squat with the kettlebell. So when she does this, I'll show you how that works. So the start position is at the top of the squat, and then we're going to go down into the bottom position with a count of 5. Hold the bottom position for 5. And then the hardest bit, I think, come up for 5. And then at the top, you can only hold for a 1. It's okay, I won't make you do it. I won't make you do another one. Okay, so we're going to go 3 rounds of that. Now, in between doing the squat, now we're going to do 5 squats. So you do 5 squats at a tempo of 5, 5, 5 with a hold of 1 at the top. In between, we're going to do a 15-second RKC plank. A plank it's a great exercise. I prefer it for getting core strength to doing sit-ups. However, I think with things like with this world record that's recently done of 9 hours or whatever it is in a plank, that people start to find a way of doing it as easy as they possibly can make it to hold it for as long as you can. It's not the way that I would do that. So what strength is about creating tension. So I'm going to give you a plank that I only want you to be able to hold for about 15 to 20 seconds max, because you're going to put so much effort into creating tension. So this is called an RKC plank. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into a plank position. Now with the arms, you're going to place the arms on the floor, and you are going to try and externally rotate your shoulders. So you're like that. So rather than let them come in, you're trying to hold that position. Toes up, and then we're going to go squeeze bum, abs tucked tight, and then here's the bit. We're going to try and pull the elbows down whilst pulling the toes up. So it puts a lot of pressure onto the abs. You're really shaking. I see that Emma's shaking with that. You should only be able to hold that position for 10 to 15 seconds. So we're going to do one of those in between our 5-second tempo squats.
Tip 2, squeeze your fists as tight as you can, squeeze everything tight and really pull everything together.
Yeah, all about creating tension. Okay, we're going to do the workout now. How's that, Em?
That was really hard. So it goes to show that you don't need heavy barbells, just a kettlebell and a bit of tempo to be building good strength. It's actually really hard.
So the idea of the tempo is it's forcing you to spend a lot of time under tension. So muscles are working really hard for a lot longer. It's teaching you to control the movement rather than pop in and out of positions. You have to be able to control the entire movement to stick to the tempo. And then there's the whole thing we talked about, which was the creation of tension. With that tempo, you cannot switch off the whole time. You are having to stay tight. And it's pretty exhausting, right?
It's very exhausting.
So we're going to move on to the workout now. So we've a 10-minute, which I think is a great time. Like a lot of the conditioning workouts that I do, they are what I would call 10-minute grinds. Working definitely for quality of movement as opposed to maximum intensity on this. So the movements we're going to do, we'll just take you through them. So the way this works is a 10-minute EMOM. So every minute on the minute, you are going to do 5 single arm swings to start off with. So if we just go through the single arm swing. So there we go. So we're aiming to push the kettlebell away, and it only needs to come up to chest height, no further than that, okay? There we go, so 5 swings. Next up, we go 5 squats. We've just been through the squat, so we're taking that down, full depth, 5 squats. Straight into, without putting the kettlebell down, 5 push press. So using the legs and the shoulders to punch the kettlebell to that overhead position. So you have to do the 5 swings, 5 squats, 5 push press within the minute on one side. You then wait the remainder of the minute to then start on the other side. So a total at the end of it, you will have done 5 on one hand, 5 on the other arm. Okay, so today's workout involves a swing, a squat, and a press. We're just going to focus a little bit on the kettlebell swing, mainly because I see it done incorrectly a lot. And if there's a couple of things I'd like you to focus on, I'm going to show you what those things are. So first of all, we start with the kettlebell actually out in front of you, and the reason for that is that Emma's going to do what we call a kettlebell drag. So you can actually drag it back between the legs first, so she can pop the kettlebell up. So start with the kettlebell away from you, just like Emma's doing there. When we get set up with a nice firm back in that position, and then Emma's going to lean it back between legs and then pop it up. Now what we're looking for is this very straight and very accentuated lockout at the top. You can see that she's getting into a really firm, locked out position at the top. Okay, and that's great. So we went through the RKC plank. I want you to put that same effort into your lockout at the top. So the way I had this described to me was every time you lock out, as if you're about to receive a punch. We're going to time-lapse the video now. I'll put a photo up at the end so you can work your way through this workout.